All right, for the second part of segment 1, we're going to talk about how to build your robot. That is right. We're saying build, not create, not roll, not all those nice little terms that people like to fancy themselves using when it comes to characters. Why? Because you build robots.
Yep.
And we're going to build one. And it is quite a bit different. It ends up with all the similarities you're used to from Mutant Year Zero and Mutant Gen Lab Alpha, but it is quite a bit different precisely because you are building the robot. The core values of #RPGate and any good tabletop group are escapism, not representation, entertainment over activism, and natural, organic inclusion, not forced diversity. Please follow that QR code or refer to the description below for the link to the charity we support, which is the Wounded Warrior Project. Thursdays and Saturdays, you can watch the Dirty Casuals on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. Fridays and Sundays, you can watch the Friday Night Chill Stream and RPG Digest on our YouTube and Rumble channels. Please leave us a comment with your thoughts and experiences, and if you like our gaming content, please be sure to subscribe to Legion of Myth. All right, there we are again with Mutant Mechatron and our favorite little robot. What'd you call him again?
Shakespeare the Traveling Bard.
Shakespeare the Traveling Bard. There we go. Let's go and see how to make your robot.
How to make Shakespeare. Come on, Billy, I'm gonna make me a Billy. Let's go.
I do want to let everybody know again that I already have a full-on step-by-step character creation video that you can watch how we made. Let's see if Heathen Dog gets the reference here. Fritz! NEC-099.
Damn it. That sounds like a cartoon or something.
Yep.
Fritz the something. Fritz the cat?
You have the right creator.
Yeah, but not the right genre. Okay, yeah. Hit me.
It's from Wizards. Necron 99, also known as Peace. I was going to go with Peace, but no, it's just too much fun to name him Fritz. So okay. Fritz was also, they killed Fritz! I even put that little clip in there too. Okay, so, cool. But I create Fritz, the security robot, because you remember our mutant from Mutant Year Zero was a chronicler, so a smart guy. Mm-hmm. And then we had our Fanny Squirrel, our little scavenger. Well, we need somebody to protect him.
Yep.
So we'll have our security robot, and you can watch that video. It'll be in the description of the video. So, all right. Your player character in Mutant Mechatron is a robot. I think we established that already.
Yep.
Your alter ego is more than just a machine. It's a thinking individual with hopes and dreams of its own. All right. So how do we build the robot here? Well, first things first is you want the model, and there is a step-by-step. Where is that? There you go. Choose your robot model, pick a name, choose your chassis and parts, and we'll look at all that. So you can start with your model. Your model is like the role, like from before, and we are going to look at the roles or the models at the end of this, so you can see that. And there are definitely more than in Gen Lab Alpha, where there were only 5 or what are they called, roles that you could be. And each model has a unique special program. Again, special program is like your special skill. Programs are skills. We're going to say program because these are robots, and he's going to correct me every time I say skill, but they're programs in this game. Your name is a little more interesting. Every robot that is not a junk robot has a nickname and a serial number. Remember I said Fritz, NEC-099. The nickname is something that a human could have. Whether it's the name of a man or a woman does not matter. The serial number comes from an ancient registry. It consists of 3 letters followed by 3 digits. Now you know how that's done. It's your serial number. Okay. And yes, it is just like playing Paranoia, where people always make jokes. You know how that's done in Paranoia, where how your name goes together with your
where the beginning part of your name and then your alphanumeric at the end will actually create some kind of pun or whatever. Yeah, got it.
Now, when you have chosen your model and your serial number, you are done with a part of your robot that cannot be altered. Can't change your name.
Nope.
I don't know why, but whatever. The rest of your choices will be possible to change after the start of the game. Your mechanical body is called a chassis. A chassis consists of 3 chassis parts, a head, a torso, and an undercarriage.
Okay.
Undercarriage could be legs. It could be tank treads. We'll find out more later.
Spider legs.
It could be spider legs. The chassis parts determine your attribute scores. We're going to take a closer look at that right now. Oh, no, we're not, because I have to explain this first. Attribute scores. Strength is now called servos.
Okay.
You'll make servos rolls to do things that are strength related.
Sure.
Your agility is now called stability. It's your gyroscope.
I'd have tried something else, but I get it.
Your intelligence, or wits, is now called processor.
Okay.
And lastly, your empathy or instinct is now called network.
Okay.
As you're networked in, because that represents,
your connection to other things, other beings,
yes,
which is robots, and you have to connect through a network. So that's your empathy or instinct. I get it. Makes sense.
Yep. Now you have chassis parts, and here's where the fun begins. Where are the parts? Couple things about parts. When you're in a group, only one player character can have a particular part.
In the beginning.
Yeah. Technically, yes.
Okay.
But if you're trying to soup everybody out with just the max of everything, I would tell you as a game master, it's going to be a while before you find another part exactly like that. And the reason is because, no, you're not supposed to be the same thing. This is what individualizes you. So,
but if I want to make a robot rebellion against my Skynet master, we should all have a uniform.
Okay, you know what? If that's how you're going, but you know what? It'll take you time to build that uniform.
Which is good, because we have to get weapons and tactics and all that stuff. It's going to take time. I get it. No. I said I'm going away from.
Did you good?
I'm going away from that. I'm moving away from that.
Oh, just because a couple people complain doesn't mean you have to. All right, servo. So we have servo strength. So let's just look at this Odessa Vega head.
Okay.
It's a small robot head that can endure rough environments.
Okay, hang on a second. So you're saying that we don't roll stats here. You choose parts, and then these individual parts, you add up all of their ratings.
Yes.
And those are your stats.
Yes.
I get it. Okay.
For example, when I built Fritz, my whole goal was to be a protector. So 100% I increased armor. That's not true. Somebody could be like, oh, you could have had one more point of armor. I could have, but then one of my other attributes would have been a 0.
Which is bad.
So I built him with 3 parts to have an armor rating of 9. So I went 3, 3, 3. So I focused on armor with that character. And in fact, the Odessa Vega, I think, is his head. Is Fritz's head. So that gives me 2 in servo, so 2 strength, 1 in stability, and 1 in processor, but 0 in network.
Sure.
It also allows me to have 1 module. Remember, modules are your mutations, going to the other games, or your animal powers. So as of right now, with picking this one head, and what we're going to do through this example, we're just going to pick the top one in each one. So if Heathen Dog wants to remember these numbers or scribble them down, right now we have 2 servos, 1 stability, 1 processor, 0 network, 1 module, 3 armor.
Hang on.
I can keep it here.
2, 1, 1, 0, 1, 3. Okay.
All right. So let's go to the torso. Well, now we have the Diderot and Diego MD34. It's a bulky torso covered with various tubes, vents, and cogs. Now, how you draw that up for your robot is however you want to do it. And that gives 2 servos, 0 stability, 2 processor, 1 network, 1 module, 1 armor.
Yep.
So this is for your smart strong types.
Sure.
And then you can see all the other options here. And then finally, we have the undercarriage, which again, we're going with the top one, which is the LBM Dino Q. Dynamite! A pair of wide tracks that allow slow but steady movement. By the way, that's fluff. No, it does not actually slow down your real movement, whatever. But again, 2 servos, you're going to be a strong character. Cheapers, you're strong.
6.
Yeah. 1 stability, 0 processor, 1 network, 1 module, 1 armor. There you go. So what are your final stats?
Servos 6.
Wow.
Stability 2.
Okay.
Processor 3.
Oh.
Network 2. Modules 3. Armor 5.
Okay. That's with the exception of the strength, that's a pretty average character. I mean, if you are not looking to...
Armor 5 is good too.
Armor 5 is good. Again, could have done more, like down here. Like I said, I could have taken this one right here for Fritz, but then I would have had 0 across the board for processor.
You would have no intelligence whatsoever.
Yeah. So I ended up taking this Methuselah mod 12. So at least I get one. But you guys can check that out in that video. But now there you go. That's how you build the character. But let's say Heathen Dog and I both want this LMB Dino Q.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
One of us gets it.
But we're twinsies.
But that's where you start bartering and trading and like, hey, how about this? I'll let you have the Dino Q, but if you're going to do that, can I take your, what was the one up here? Oh, you took first one. Your Diderat. You know, you can start working. Well, my character is being built this way for this reason. You know, that makes sense. You know, maybe I'll focus. You know, I'll go with more modules. I'll take some special powers instead. So what gives? Oh, look at this one. I'll take the scrap torso. Oh my god, scrap torsos are
very modular, but it's garbage for everything else. That's why it's called scrap. Yeah.
Yes. Oddly misshapen torso built out of spare parts and scrap. Yeah. You know.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's not do that.
Hey, but you get superpowers from it. Scrap head.
No, I'm good.
I mean, look at this Phoenix one here. 0 modules.
Yeah, I'd rather not have my lunch money stolen. Thanks.
So, all right. So there you, but you get the idea. That's how character creation works. So we can skip most of this, and it talks here about what the attributes are versus standard. Programs are skills. We will talk about programs next week. Mostly say again, if you watch the Mutant Year Zero or Mutant Gen Lab Alpha, the Mutant Year Zero being the important one because we actually dive into this stuff. It's just their skills. That's how your character does skills. So let's look at this guy right here. He looks a little pudgy for some reason.
Yeah, looks like he's no. He's a scrap robot surrounded in a metal female dress frame. Yes.
Okay. Got it. Secondary function. Now, secondary functions, those are talents, and we'll again look at those next week. What are the different talents that characters can have? Now, nope. I'm sorry. I was going to jump into modules. Modules will be next. Modules are down here. Modules. These are your special powers, and they use energy points. You can activate a module by spending an energy point. Interestingly, and I'm doing this from memory, you can also heal yourself, if I remember correctly, spending energy points. Or that's a module that allows you to do that. I forget.
I think it's probably some kind of nanotech module.
Hierarchy. If you remember in Gen Lab Alpha, we had the hierarchy because, you know, animals have a social hierarchy.
Sure.
If I growl louder than you or if I have bigger horns than you, I'm in charge. Well, guess what? Robots have the same. But unlike Gen Lab Alpha, where that's malleable, you know, if you stare down the big tough guy, you know, you gain a little bit and he drops a little bit because, you know, that's what happens. The alpha wolf doesn't stay alpha forever.
No.
Well, in robots, they do. And it's based on your, not role. What's it called again? Your job.
Your job.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Your function.
So what happens when you refuse orders?
Uh-oh. Don't do that.
Robots that have become self-aware, like you, don't automatically follow orders. Your obedience is no longer absolute. You can refuse, or at least try. See the question program, which we'll talk about next week. The risk of doing this is that other robots may view you as defective.
Sure. Makes sense.
Other robots that note your refusal will probably report this anomaly to their superiors. Abnormal behavior is logged in the giant network of Mechatron 7 as long as you are connected to it. Do you see the loophole there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a dangerous loophole to apply. Could be a benefit to you, but there will be some sacrifices should you do that. So think closely before you disobey an order from a superior robot. Make sure it is worth the risk. This is, other than fixing the dome itself, this is the number one issue in the game. And if your game master isn't playing it up, then I would dare say that your game is not on the right track. At the same time, if the PCs can't do anything ever, then why are you playing
that's
this?
Not fun either, right? I mean, you have to walk the line of accomplishing your sentient goals and dreams, but not being thrown into the scrap heap because you are, defective.
Yeah. But hey, maybe getting thrown into the scrap heap isn't such a bad thing. Why? Because some robots are not part of the collective. Scrap robots and machines that have been discarded as rubbish have hierarchy 0. Nobody will listen to you. And you have to listen to everybody, sort of. Not really. Since such machines are not part of the collective, they are not expected to obey orders. The existence of scrap robots is both concern for and a benefit to the collective. They often perform needed functions that have been neglected by Nodos and the collective. Yet, the paradox of their existence, that should be impossible, is hard for logically thinking machines to process. Most robots in the collective usually ignore the scrap robots or treat them as if they are the very bottom of the hierarchy,
Which
they are.
Yeah.
It is
okay. Formulating plans. My particular gears are now a turning.
Okay.
I see it.
And here is the hierarchy. Coordination robot is like a commander, except for instead of commanding 1 or 2 people, he commands an entire machination. Yeah.
Security robot.
Security robot you have to listen to because
they're the cops.
Yeah. And literally the cops. There's an annoying ability in this game. I think it's a module where you have sirens. And
you pop out. Woo, woo, woo.
And that's what I want to avoid at every table ever. You are not taking that module. Because you know that's what people do. All right, popping on the sirens. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, I got woo, woo, woo. My sirens are still going. Woo, shut up. All right, anyway. But you can see the list. Oh, what I was talking about earlier, he knows the escort robot.
Yes. Cherry 2000, my favorite robot.
Cherry 2000. Appearance, basically, it gives you a quick description of the appearance in those, in the chassis parts, but feel free to kind of do your own thing, tweak it a little bit. Now, as far as spider legs go, that you work that out with your GM, sorry. Personality, that's up to you. And like all the other ones, you still have relationships and dreams. And what do I mean by other ones? The other games, Mutant Year Zero, Mutant Gen Lab Alpha, yada yada.
Because you are sentient. So
you are sentient.
Yeah,
and this is how you get XP. So game mechanically speaking, every character, whether Gen Lab Alpha, Year Zero, Elysium, or Mechatron, has these same things to assist you to get experience points. Relationships to PCs, we talked about that in a previous video. Again, with Year Zero, you'll have a buddy again, and you'll get XP based on sacrifices that you make or risks that you make for your buddy and your friends.
Wherever
and
I go, he goes, my buddy.
My buddy and me. You have a big dream. I'm sentient.
Yay!
World, hear me.
I have a dream. Oh,
and I'm only broken, or I will look at the terms when we cover combat. I read too many of these games with all these different terms. They start floating around differently.
Yep.
Gear, as a robot, the most important piece of gear that you will have is your own body.
Makes sense.
And then gear works the same. Remember, heavy items take up 2 lines. Normal items take up 1 line. You can have your servos ×2 total number of lines before you're encumbered. So if you have your servos is 6.
The big difference here. Hang on. The big difference in gear is in all the other games, you have to have food. You have to have water.
Mm-hmm.
They take up space. But here, it's all energy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have batteries that take up space?
We'll talk about that with equipment.
Okay.
I don't want to say no. Generally speaking, no, but yes. There are modules. There are, how do I want to say this? Again, there's some things that are spoilery because it goes into the actual adventure.
Oh.
So, pincers. You have, basically, this is saying, look, you have the effectiveness of hands. You can, whether they're pincers or, they're foreclaws. You'll see how these different robots are done. You have hands.
You have the pincers of power.
You have the pincers of power.
That's from Goonies. For anyone who doesn't know, watch Goonies. Good movie.
Old one, but good one. Yes. Encumbrance. Again, we talked about that. And for those who don't watch previous videos, again, so your servos is 6, right?
Yeah.
That means you can carry 12 lines worth of items or 12 normal size items.
Sure.
If it's a small item, takes up half a line. I use the term line. I think it does in the original book kind of on the side as well, but I like the term because you literally are putting lines of items. If you've got, he can have 12 normal items, 24 light items, or 6 heavy items, or some combination thereof.
Copy that.
As far as tiny item goes, if it can fit in your hands, Don't
Whatever.
count it. You know, e-packs and ammunition. I didn't think it talked about e-packs here. Okay, so energy weapons and other items that require electricity can either be connected to your personal power source or be powered by an e-pack. Well, there's your answer.
There's the batteries.
I didn't think
Okay.
it was going to be here. I thought it's going to be later.
Right. Wait. It probably doesn't say here, but can you recharge yourself off an e-pack a
Yes.
certain amount? Okay, good. All right, great. Okay.
Now, do you want to?
Well, no. If you're going outside the dome for an extended time, it's like taking air or water or food with you. You need it. So I get it.
Same rules for being over encumbered. And now
Over encumbered in this game should be just you can't move because everything is exact. Like this is the exact amount you can carry and still move. If you go over this amount, you cannot move.
It's not like that because things are degrading. And so you can stress, you can put out the torque, you can go 100% or 110% of past your normal operating capacity, but you make a roll. And if the roll fails, then it's just like the other games. I can't go. Well, you're not heavy breathing. I can't go on. You're just like, ooh.
Oh.
Legs stop. They overheated. They whatever term you want to use to say that you stopped. Yeah. Awarding XP is just like the other games. Did you participate in the session? You know how we feel about that one. I reword that to did you participate and weren't distracting?
Sure.
Did you try to eliminate error? These are the work orders. You're going to get work orders in this game. Those are your like side missions are the work orders or
no, they're not according to the complex. According to the complex, that's your only mission. It's your only mission is to correct errors because you are an error correcting unit.
Yes.
So you should correct errors. That's your only job. But in doing so, you will get experience points along with doing your own thing, all your dreams and whatnot.
Yep.
You'll get experience for that too. So you actually are getting possibly twice the experience of any of your non-sentient brothers.
Not really, because this is just replaced with did you what is here? I got Gen Lab Alpha right here. It's just replaced in robot terms with
oh no you
something about the resistance.
You missed my meaning. I mean other robots also, who are non-sentient, they can only get experience for
they don't get experience. They just do their jobs. You learn to do your job better.
Okay. They don't get anything. So they don't get better? Just
at
a slower rate? Okay.
They just do their job. Your computer, unless you put in a new processor, doesn't do anything more. Unless somebody reprograms Windows, it doesn't do anything different.
Linux, baby.
Linux, there you go. Anyway, you can spend your XP to raise a program level, your skills, or install a new secondary function, just like before. And we'll talk about modules. You're like, well, what about modules? Why can't I upgrade? Special. Yeah, why can't I upgrade my superpowers? Well, that's because you have module slots. I plug it in. I got my SCSI cable. That's right. Going old school. Got my SCSI cable, or I don't.
I'm Firewire, baby.
Fire. Too bad you're too proprietary to plug into anything in the complex. Then.
Oh.
All right, to play a robot, things you should be considering: your self-awareness. I'm not going to go through each of these paragraphs here. Time is interesting because they had made an entire paragraph about this, pretty much saying that to a robot, time doesn't matter. You're going to do the same thing for 10,000 years as long as you're,
still functional.
Yeah, still functional. It doesn't matter to you. But now that you're sentient, time means something. Yeah. Emotions, you now have these weird emotion things to consider. Gross. And that is part of character creation, by the way, giving your character a personality. I don't know if we passed it or if it's coming up.
I didn't even see it. No.
Okay.
Morality even? Wow.
Yeah, well, it's disgusting because you now have, because the characters are played by humans, they just make the assumption that it's human morality. That now you're just
created by humans in game. So, all of the robots we've seen so far have had 2 arms, for the most part, 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, torso. So they're made in the image of their creators.
Yep.
And so they would also probably think in the concept of their creators.
But what does a robot do when it comes between efficiency and a life? This is a new concept for you.
Yeah.
And there are no alignments in the game, so to speak.
Nope.
So that's something for you to talk over with your party or have the inner turmoil with yourself. In a way, it's like playing a non-emo vampire game where it's like you have this, I've been like this forever. And obviously you remember being a robot and just doing what you're supposed to. But now
you
you've got
feel
this.
anything about it.
Now you got this Johnny Five thing going on, and you're like, is the war really the right? Is serving the military the right thing to do? I don't know. Except for the military is telling me to protect the dome right now, and
that seems fair.
So you can see this example character here. Plus, I'll show Fritz here in just a second. Is there anything we missed? We got name, we got model, and we'll look at the models in a moment. Personality, moody hypochondriac.
That's
my sciatica's kicking in.
Annoying. How can you be a hypochondriac? You can't get sick. God.
My sciatica is
my sciatica. Get the hell out of
here. You got your appearance here. Secondary functions, mass production. We'll talk about those next week when we talk about skills. Armor rating 6, pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you're almost guaranteed 1 success. If you don't remember, you roll that many dice to prevent potentially prevent damage.
Each success prevents a point of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Modules, 2 modules, so not too bad. Basically 2 superpowers. A wire system. That has something to do with the network. I forget. And chainsaw.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Hell yeah.
That's wonderful.
Let's see. It is a security robot, right? Oh, an industrial robot.
It's an industrial robot.
It's a rusty chainsaw.
Oh, man.
Looks like
off her hand. His name is Ash.
There you go. Wait, what is it? Oh, it's not. It's
Ranny.
Ranny.
Whatever. Ash.
Yeah, Ash. Laser welder also is a weapon.
Well, yeah, you're industrial. I get it. That makes sense.
But look at that. Bonus +2. You roll 2 gear dice with this thing.
Okay. Cool.
It's pretty good. It's only arm's length, so it's only got a range about that far. But I mean, it's a welder.
Yeah.
And you can see the relationships here. And the special skill for this character is manufacture, which is the same as, if you remember the other games, the people who create stuff. Like, what is the scrapper?
Yeah. To make tools and weapons and whatnot.
There you go. He's met 1 robot named Limbo, and they didn't fill out the rest of the stuff. Development levels. Just like the Ark, there are development levels.
Oh, okay. Are we getting that in the next segment? Like the
no, it'll be the last, not next week. It'll be the last week. The difference is you're trying to build up your Ark.
Yes.
Here, you're trying to slow the degradation.
You can't actually fix anything, just slow the decay?
That's actually a question I can't answer. I want to say that through reading that part of it, ultimately, I don't think you can win. It's slow it down to the point of meeting all of your other goals.
I don't like that at all.
If I'm remembering correctly. Well, ultimately what ends up happening is you figure out, hey, this is about to break. Let's all get out. But you have to get to that point to where the higher robots agree to that. Because right now, humans told us to do this, and this is what we'll do.
I got another plan. I have formulated my plan as a player character in Mutant Mechatron.
Okay. You ready to look at the other robots? The other models?
That one looks pretty cool.
This is the BattleBot.
Okay, I get it.
Here, I'll zoom out a little bit. There you go. There's your BattleBot.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a cape. I mean, if you've got a cape, you're automatically cool, right? Even if you're a robot?
Well, that's more like a cloak, but whatever.
Fair. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That is a cloak. It's got a hood.
But, I'm not questioning a guy with a huge gun that's half his size. I'm not questioning that guy.
It has an Iron Man thing in his belly.
I don't know what that is. It could be a Guyver main cannon for all I know. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a pass in the street. I'm gonna cross the street walking by him.
Okay.
Yep.
Now your BattleBot might not look like this because you might pick different chassis parts. You might have tank treads. So
sure.
Let's see. What's the special program as target? It's kind of an annoying one.
Increase the chance to hit.
You played Earth Dawn. It's aggressive attack.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a little different than that, but it gives you a bonus. You focus on this target. I am focused on Heathen Dog. Where he goes, I go. He's going down. Sure. But everybody else around him, because I'm so focused on him, gets a bonus to hit me.
Okay.
And again, we'll talk more about that next week. But got the appearance. Secondary functions. You can have an IR camera, command override, which is pretty cool. The quick version of it is this. Somebody gives you an order. You don't like it. Or Heathen Dog gives me an order. but somebody else gives me another order that I'm supposed to follow, I choose not to. So command override, that's the quick version of that. And robot anatomy, that probably means that you can kill robots better.
We'll
and
find out
here's
next week.
what's that? Yep,
We'll
find out next week.
Yep.
Cleaning robot.
Hey, soapy suds.
Soapy suds. Why would you ever want to play a cleaning robot?
Everyone's got to look spiffy.
Remember, this is still a world with rot.
Yeah, so this guy cleans up rot and rust and all that good stuff. This is important.
Also, can clean up swarms.
What's a swarm?
Like a swarm of, I don't know, carnivorous flies.
Oh, why would that matter to a machine? We don't have any meat. Screw carnivorous flies.
Yeah, but you're there to protect humans and keep them safe.
There's no humans here.
There could be. They might come back. You got to keep it clean.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
No, but that's the main use of it for here is it can clean. It can clean up areas, make you look nice. But the game mechanics of it is that it can clean up poison, rot. Again, the game just generally uses the term rot, and
it's a catch-all for disease, radiation, sickness, inducing things, bacteria, viruses, whatever.
Secondary functions you can pick are rubberized, trash blower, or waste recycler. I don't know what trash blower is off the top of my head.
I don't know either, but rubberized seems neat.
It is.
You're immune to rot and rust and decay and stuff, I imagine.
I think it's energy weapon damage does less. Well, we'll find out next week.
Okay. And
personalities.
Recycler sounds good too. I like that.
I love this one. I'm a cleaning bot. I'm self-righteous kleptomaniac. You know, as I'm cleaning,
you just steal stuff. That's fine.
And what? I deserve this.
No. You get caught. You're like, oh, I was going to clean it and put it back. That's my job.
You're a Kender.
Yeah. I was just cleaning it. Oh, people are going to hate you real quick.
The companion robot.
Okay, that is not a companion for a human. These were built to be human companions. All right. Where's the beautiful breasticles and or the wonderful, huge, vibrating groin? Where's all that? I don't see it. That looks like a robot made to service other robots, and I'm not for that. 100%. I'm out. No.
Special program, manipulate. So secondary functions, appearance morph. Oh, you want to look like a human? Human features. You have to take it as a talent.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, or secondary function.
No, wait. Is this just visual or tactile as well?
I think it's both, if I remember correctly.
Sweet. Okay. 100%. No, that's actually better because I can tell you to look like someone else whenever I get bored with the first thing.
Appearance morph is like, what do you want me to look like today, baby? And infiltrator is if you want to be a spy, which is how I've seen them used.
Okay.
Personality, flirtatious and conceited. Carefree and friendly, mysterious and vexing. And just so anybody knows, I probably should have said this in case you haven't watched any other videos. These are just
examples.
Yeah, exactly. They're just examples. You don't have to do this.
No.
But if you're like, I don't know, it's a great place to start. So, next we have the coordination robot.
What? Oh no, that's the overseer type guy.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And its special ability is coordinate.
Okay, see, I don't get it. This coordination robot should have hover jets. I don't know why it doesn't. Because you are literally above everyone else. Come on. I mean,
maybe you're trying to look. Humans created you. You want to look more human.
Yeah, but I saw a robot earlier with hover jets. These guys should be the only ones with hover jets. So they can be literally and figuratively over all the other robots.
Aren't humans like the epitome of existence? Since that's the case, I want to look the most human. I'm in charge. I am the human representative. I need to look like it.
That's fair.
I mean, neither of us are wrong. I'm just putting out there like why if you can find the undercarriage with hover jets, go for it. And this is the control robot. This is the one that's the highest. Now they come in different versions. You have the battle commander. All right, there you go. Now you're ordering troops around and you're using some tactics. You've got SWAT tactics. I don't know what the difference between these two is. And top tier unit. I actually don't remember that one either.
I don't know what that one is, but that sounds awesomer.
Awesome. I'm top tier. We'll find out next week. Worrying and paranoid. I don't want that out of my commander.
Oh no, I want I want all of my commander's flaws to be the same way that I want all of my nuclear weapons hidden from view.
Intolerant and vain. Like, wow. And
That's
emotional and
actually
prone
fair.
to outbursts. What is wrong with you people? You can't do anything. All right.
Yeah, those are all bad.
Industrial robot. Well, here are your spider arms.
There you go. Good for you, buddy.
He looks like a
He's
centipede.
got an Uzi.
Yeah, he's got an Uzi and looks like a rotor or a motor. I don't know, some broken. I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, and a jug of hooch.
And he's got the insect repellent. So yeah, the industrial robot. This one's the one that creates stuff. Yeah, manufactures. So he's ready to build some things. He can do mass production. Awesome. Mounted tools. Oh, that's another thing you can do in this game that's a little different. And yes, I would put severe limitations on this because otherwise,
from what I gathered so far, mounted tools is you can pick up a tool, say a drill, and power it with yourself. Right? You can power it. If it uses electricity, you can power it off your internal battery. So it powers off of you, and it says mounted. That means you can probably connect it to your body and get bonuses for it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I imagine that was.
So I would have some limitations to this, whereas you're not just going to mount everything that you come across.
Well, no, I mean, each chassis would have to be given a set of hard points. You know, you can have so many things attached because there's just not enough room, or it's not structurally stable in that area. It'll just break.
And then you got the Eggman, Humpty Dumpty here, as your protocol robot.
What? Why didn't they just get the low-hanging fruit? C-3PO. Just do it. Just do it. What's wrong? What is this guy? He looks like what's his name from Seinfeld?
George?
Yes. George Costanza from Seinfeld. No one's listening to him. No one's listening to this guy.
Well, he's a protocol robot, and he can calculate, and calculate's a pretty cool feature. Calculate allows you to, when Han Solo said, never tell me the odds.
Right.
He can tell you the odds.
Just go C-3PO. What is wrong with this game? I mean, there has to be something that looks like C-3PO, but is different enough to where you're not going to get Disneyfied on you. There's got to be that. Instead, you went with the Costanza disaster.
What that allows you to do is you can re-roll if you fail. I choose not to do that action anymore. The odds of navigating this asteroid is 760 to 1, whatever the hell that was. And he's like, you know what? I rolled the fail. I choose not to navigate that asteroid belt anymore, and I've decided I'm going to turn around. Good choice.
Okay, so you can't do the same thing twice, just like all the other games. Unless something significant has happened, you can't attempt the same thing twice if you failed the first time. But if you fail, you can just say, I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
Without any repercussion. Just go away.
You can't push your roll.
Nope.
So you can't be like, well, let me see if I make it on a push and then decide. No. You roll, and if you failed, you're like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Or you can say, I'm still going to try to push it and make it happen. Depends on what's important to you at that time.
Or it depends on what you rolled. If you roll no successes and 3 1s or something like that, you're like, I want to push my roll. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
It's not that important.
No, whatever it is. Nope. The sun will come out tomorrow, brother. Don't do it.
Fat robot Yoda.
He should be green, but he's not.
Yeah. Well, Lucas likes to sue. Disney's even worse. So, all right. Coordination, support, interpreter, and ultimate clerk. Talk about those next week. And then everybody's favorite scrap robot.
Yeah. Junkion.
There you go. Dare to be stupid. Recycle. I don't remember what that is off the top of my head.
It sounds good.
Chopping tool, dummy module, scrap companion. And we'll talk about those. By the way, these are just secondary functions that we're looking at, right? Like talents. Right. We haven't looked at modules at all.
No, modules are the powers, are the mutation powers, or in this case, super special, programs that allow you to do amazing things.
Now you got the security robot, who looks like he's very top heavy.
Nope, looks just like a Securitron from Fallout 3. The
I don't remember this.
From Fallout 3. Yeah,
okay.
Looks just like that.
His ability is to protect. That's one of my favorite abilities. I can take damage for you. It's a great way to play a tank.
Bodyguard. love you.
He can arm lock, command override again, and sirens, which we'll talk about next week. I think I talked about that even in the character creation video too. I don't know. I did a long time ago. And there you go. That is how you make your character. Again, if you want to see the specifics of how everything comes together, watch the character creation video. I do it step by step, day by day. And too many songs floating around this dumb stream today. But step by step, you can see from beginning to end the thought process that went in it, why things happen, and you can see the specifics. So that'll be in the description below. So other than that, what do we got for chat?
We got some comments here. Travis says women parts don't belong on a man bot. That's gay. No, it's not. Because the reason I started this is because this game specifically is PC proof. There are no pronouns. There's just it. There's no men, there's no women, there's no cats, there's no dogs, there's nothing. You are a robot. You are not a male robot, you are not a female robot. There's no gay, there's no straight, because there's no sex. Nobody has a sex, let alone a gender. So if you are surrounded by blue-haired idiots, this is the game to play. Because you can say it all the time and never ever get in trouble.
I got that stupid Rabonia theme song stuck in my head now. Hail Rabonia, a place I didn't just make up. That's when Bender got his sex change to do the Galactic Olympics or whatever.
Yep, I remember that. Rex Teal. So does this character creation discourage too much min-maxing, at least purely for mechanical benefit? No. Okay. Yes and no. It doesn't discourage it. It flat out denies it because no one can start with a similar chassis, with the same chassis. So if you get to min-max your character, you're lucky, because if someone else wants that chassis part that you need to fully max out your armor or your servos or your intelligence, then you're gonna have to fight them for it. I don't know, Rochambeau. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you're gonna do something.
Let's actually talk about that for just a moment. I've got to find it. It's in one of these black boxes. It is actually talked about. In one of these corporations brands, don't care. Chassis cards, min-maxing. Minigames min-maxing is a term that is sometimes used with some disdain. It means trying to make your character as powerful as possible by choosing the best possible combination of traits, no matter whether it makes sense for your character as a whole. Min-maxing does not belong in every game, but in Mutant Mechatron, it is entirely appropriate. You are a machine. Tuning yourself to be as effective as possible in your tasks is only natural.
Okay,
but
so
now Heathen Dog is right. You're still bartering for those pieces and so forth, but yes,
it's logical to do so.
Yes.
Okay, and plus, you have the added comfort that there are many robots here, and if you go down a very specialist path, there's someone to take up the slack in society for you. There's someone who can do the things you can't, and so society as a whole will not be burdened. That's great. And Mar Hockman comes up with, so it's like a Terminator where you can steal spare parts from enemies. We will find out when we go into powers, because I'm entirely certain that the scrap robot has super special abilities that'll allow him to get a third arm or a fourth leg or whatever. I'm certain it's going to be something like that. Someone's going to have that ability. And
so they're going to be there or might be in the combat section as well. But the simple answer is, to a degree, yes, you can swap out parts.
Yes. And Rex Steel comes back. Machines degrade as they are used until you replace parts. Machines can degrade even if they're not used, especially batteries. Batteries degrade whether they're used or not. They'll degrade more being used, but they'll degrade. And RAM has no moving parts. You turn it off, it's still going to be in the elements. It's still susceptible to rust, still susceptible to the decay of time. You know, silicon sandwiches that make up processors literally only last so long before they die, even if they're not used. But it's only been a few decades, so it's just use.
Now, one thing I want to caution, and I'm not saying this in defensiveness or anything like that, but just to put it back out there, don't get hyper realistic with the game. It's just like with the animal powers, just like with the mutant humans. So the game is meant to be a caricature. It's meant to be fun. And I skipped the part where it talked about, let's not be overly comedic. Basically, what the game says is like, hey, there are some serious things going on in this world, and you should be afraid as that robot, since now you understand what life means and you kind of have it. And and this whole area is about to collapse. At the same time, it doesn't mean you can't ever laugh, but it does actually talk. There's a paragraph or two in here that talks about this isn't a comedic game.
No.
You know. So but don't be super serious about it to the point where you're researching, what an X99 processor does. It's like, no.
But the what you should take away is that you, being newly sentient, you have the existential dread of one day you're going to be killed when your dome fails that no other robot has, because they literally don't care. They just do their jobs and that's it. Existential dread doesn't exist for them. But you also can see things in your world the other robots can't. You can make connections that the other robots would never in a million years. Even appreciating something beautiful that you didn't appreciate before, but you saw a million times. But you see it now with these new eyes you have of sentience, and you can be blown away by the beauty, the way the colors move around, or the way the wires are hanging in that area creates a, some kind of optical illusion type thing. They can't see that.
And as a new robot, like just starting out the game, that might be an absolute interesting. You might think, oh, that's dumb role playing, whatever. That's you. But for me, I think that'd be interesting to, like, what are you doing staring out there? Do you see how the sun shifts color from this yellowish to this reddish, about 18 degrees up? And what are you talking about? We got a dome, but isn't that fascinating? Like, that's, again, a simple thing like that can add a lot of character to your character.
Funny. Coco says, I bet the scrap has the most potential. I bet you're right too, because it seems like out of the gate, it's the worst, but usually the worst seeming class in the beginning ends up being the best at the end. So I'm pumped to actually see the powers that the scrap bot can, the Junkion can actually pull out. That'd be fun.
I'll just leave that on the screen. Oh, there you go. You guys can read that on your own. Yep. Go ahead and do more chat. They can read that on their own.
That was the last one.
Oh, well, then I'll read it. Dark humor. A challenge when playing Mutant Mechatron is to hit the right note of dark humor that should be a part of this game without turning it into a farce. There's much absurdity to laugh at in Mechatron 7, and that's perfectly fine. This game need not be played with a deadpan seriousness. However, try to also highlight the deeper and more philosophical themes of the game. Individual desires versus the needs of the community, and exploring what it truly means to be alive.
Okay.
I think that's a good way to end the character creation aspects of it.
Character section. Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, next week we're going to talk about skills. We're going to talk about talent. I'm sorry. I always do that.
I said skills. You said skills.
I said skills too. So programs, secondary. Specialist programs?
Nope.
I don't care. Secondary functions and modules.
There you go.
Secondary functions are the talent. Those are 4 different things. Yes. And I guess where does combat come in? Because there's no way I'm doing combat in the same. Maybe there's 4 weeks for Mechatron. I have to look it up. I have to look at the schedule.
Subscribe and you can find out.
Yep, subscribe and you will. Hey, we're talking about more next week. We'll be back next week with more Mechatron 7.
Boom.